This video is meant to accompany the Xylem service coordinator's requests. In all cases, you should install equipment according to manufacturer's recommendations and local codes. The Xylem control panel is the heart of the system. There are quite a few pictures that are required to be sent to the service coordinator to confirm correct installation. The majority of our panels have field terminations on the left side. You will need a minimum of 2 pictures of these field terminations for the electrical engineer and service coordinator to review. This is an example of a double-stacked field termination block. Make sure your pictures clearly show the numbers on the bottom and the top. For larger panels, sometimes we have field termination blocks on the bottom. There is none on this job, but if you do have those on yours, make sure you take pictures of those too. If your job has it, another picture required is of the YSI sensor net. You can see below here we have the special sensor net cable, and that's what we'll be looking for in the picture. You can see all the Cat 6s coming in here to the network switch. And you can see the blue E1 here. It is recommended that you provide an Ethernet cable with internet access to this E1 before startup. Lastly, please show a picture of the main breaker, clearly showing where the line side conductors are terminated on the breaker. An overall picture of the aeration valve is also a must. We must confirm the correct wiring and mechanical installation. If your job has ancillary equipment going to the Xylem PLC, such as flow meters, sludge transfer pumps, or chemical feed skids, whether Xylem provided them or not, if they are controlled by the Xylem PLC, they need to be wired, and the commissioning agent for that piece of equipment needs to be on site. When it comes to the blowers, we will need pictures of the VFD, motor starter, or controller for the blower. Not only will we need to see the control wires going back to our PLC, if they're individual wires or if it's a network cable, but we also need to see the main feed feeding the blowers to ensure that they are wired and ready to be powered up. If the blower has a PLC, additionally, if it has any other ancillary equipment like pressure sensors or temperature sensors coming into that PLC, we will need pictures of those also. Lastly, a picture of the motor showing the completion of the wiring. For the mixers and the waste sludge pumps, please send pictures clearly showing the bases for the jib crane are mounted, as you can see right here. Also, a clear picture from the top of the mixer or the waste sludge pump. We need to see the guide rails, the mounting of the electrical cable, the hoist cable, and the guide cable. Each waste sludge pump disconnect, you will have your line and load wires and your temperature sensors. These 2 wires will let us know if the mixer or waste sludge pump has a leak or is over temp. An overall view of any sensors or YSI equipment out on the basins will also be needed. Here you can see the installation of the YSI boxes, the sun shields, and the sensors. Do not install any probes to the end of the PVC poles until the Xylem representative is on site. It is okay to get everything wired up, ready to go, laying on the deck, just like this. This is the view from the other side of the tank. You can see the 1.5-inch YSI pipe mounted to the side of the rail. But more importantly, if you look closely, you will see a 4-inch PVC stilling well. This is for the level transducer. It has 1/2-inch holes drilled every 24 inches and must be installed before our visit. Here we have automatic and manual purge valves. We will need a picture to confirm the wiring of this automatic purge valve. In colder environments, it is always good practice to have the purge go back into the basin and not on the deck. Here you can see they use some flexible hose to do this. The basin local decanter station will also need to be pictured. We need to confirm that the limits for the decanter are wired. Here we have our high, low, and low, terminating right here. The decanter shaft will need to be unscrewed, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And the magnet and 2 washers and bolt will need to be installed. Be very careful not to over-tighten this bolt as you can break the magnet. The decanter limit boxes will need to be put together, installed, and wired. We have the band on the back side that will attach itself to the shroud of the decanter. And inside the box here, you can see we have our heater, our high limit, and our high limit. Please reference the Xylem mechanical drawings for the correct way to install these limits and positioning. An overall picture showing the decanter motor and the limit switches installed going into the basin local decanter station would be great. Pictures of the decanter and the aeration grid before water or influent is put into the basin is a must. Keep in mind, if your plant has mixers, that the aeration grid from the mixer going out 15 feet or 5 meters needs to have heavier supports.